Okay, this is a little video to give thanks to another YouTuber, Charles Sturgess, who has actually made some false allegations, which I'll take you through them now, just to disprove them. Charlie says this.
Or if you want my opinion as a professional F1 pundit with such integrity and journalistic standards, my mate F1 XED won't even mention me.
Charles. Now, of course I'll mention you, and I already have mentioned you. Let me evidence what's going on here. You see, what we'll do, okay, we'll minimise this one because you've just said that I won't even mention you on a video that you've put out today that's had 671 views at this stage with 107 likes. You've got quite a few smooth brains that subscribe to your channel. Why is he called Charles? Well, anybody called Charlie is Charles.
And there's the captain, Charles.
Anyway, don't you worry about that. I just thought I'd put a clip in because I know the smooth brains they need the clips. You see, that's your original video where you're talking to me. No, this video here, my video, going back to 4 days ago, Charlie. 4 days ago, and you can look on here, the 22nd of September 2025. I did say this, all right? I did say this, Charlie. Now, just to be clear here, who the stewards are, we've got Gary Connolly stewarding this event, and he's one of the corrupt stewards from Abu Dhabi 2021. Just for a little bit of context here, this channel has had around about 40 or 50 new subscribers in the last 7 to 10 days. I believe that's a result of this YouTuber here, Charlie Sturgess, making a couple of shorts and a video where I get a mention. I will be making a video to address some of that, but just so you're aware, if you are new to the channel, this channel is primarily here to evidence and demonstrate to people the true nature of what took place at Abu Dhabi 2021. I will get described as a truther or a conspiracy theorist. Well, when I the evidence on this channel will demonstrate what the truth is. I'm still playing that video, by the way. Okay, this is still that video from then. Because it's like evidence of what's actually taken place. You know, the truth. This took place. The way the media describe it is completely different, but it actually took place. Such as Nicholas Latifi being told that it had to be this lap, and that he then goes around turn 14 in third gear as opposed to fourth, which he'd gone around it in every lap prior to that, and then he dumps the throttle. I wonder what that's going to do. Yeah, but don't worry about that. And don't worry about everything else, okay? This is just conspiracy theory, apparently. But again, I will take you through in a video or two over the next few weeks. For those that are new to the channel, I'll show you what is true about Abu Dhabi 2021. It's not made up. It's actually taking place. Anyway, back to Azerbaijan 2025. So that was that video. Okay, that was the first reaction video to Azerbaijan 2025, unpicking the BS. The BS stands for bullshit. Okay, just in case you didn't realise. But just one of the things, I'll just show you. Remember, this is something that we can all do. If you've got F1 TV yourself, you can do this. It's really fun. Okay. See here where I'm trying to wave my cursor. Turn 14. There's a blue dot just about to go round there. Let's have a look.
Regulation changes.
Wow, that feels like a long time ago.
The blue dots could become stationary. Have a listen.
Doesn't it? But yes, Mercedes had an awful pre-season test, didn't they? We thought they would be in terrible trouble come the first race.
Oh no! Nicholas Latifi has crashed.
Oh no! Nicholas Latifi has crashed. Now, you can do this too. This is 1 hour, 28 minutes and 36 seconds. There's a back 10 seconds button there. You can press that once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. You can see Latifi and Mick Schumacher going back around the track in reverse. 5, 6. There they are there at the top of the screen now. 7 is that. I'm losing track. 8, 9. They're just crossing the start-finish line there. Okay, and 10 times. So now this is the previous lap. Okay, now if we'll just press play a little bit here.
And with tyres that have been on since lap 14 is really quite sensational.
Tyres, everybody, tyres, says Brundle. Now we can come to driver cameras, click on that, and then go up to lat number 6. Lat, that stands for Nicholas Latifi, and you can go on to him. It's not 100% synced up between tracker view and actually the onboards, but it's pretty close. Blame F1 TV for that, but let's have a listen. So this is Latifi about to start his lap 52. Remember, he's being lapped, okay? But let's have a listen. Listen carefully.
Has to be this lap, mate.
Has to be this lap, mate. Give it everything. Let's just check that, shall we?
Has to be this lap, mate. Give everything.
Has to be this lap, mate. Give it everything. What has to be this lap now? The strap-on fanboy will say, oh yeah, well he had to make that overtake this lap because this was the last time he could do it. He's just starting his lap 52. It's a 58 lap race. He will only complete 57 of them being laps, but there's still 5 laps to do that, and there's at least 2 overtaking opportunities per lap. Oh yeah, but his tyres were good. Yeah, well, if his tyres are only good this lap, if he makes the overtake this lap, then what's he got left to defend? Oh, his battery unit was low and it could only manage it this. Yeah, but again, the same logic applies. If he's only got enough power to do it this lap, what's he got left to defend? What would have to be this lap? Well, you see, we can go back across to here.
This season, will he think?
We'll go to tracker view, and I say not 100% synced up. We can now see Latifi and Mick Schumacher. Okay, they've rounded turn 1, and we'll go forward 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 50 seconds, 60 seconds, and we see Latifi and Schumacher coming around here.
At their detriment at the start of this season, it's once again a great recovery because they felt they've been hampered coming into this season by those slight regulation changes.
Well, that feels like a long time ago, doesn't it?
Oh, what had to be this lap?
No, but yes, Mercedes had an awful pre-season test, didn't they? We thought they would be in terrible trouble come the first race.
Oh no! Nicholas Latifi has crashed,
And actually, this choreographed fight between Schumacher and Latifi can be demonstrated. I'm not going to do it on this video because that would just be me making an hour-long rant into the microphone. Okay, but that's for another video. But what we've also got here is, the goat of the sport, as some people who look at the sport through rose-tinted spectacles like to think Alonso is. A really experienced driver. Let's see what Alonso thinks of the situation. Where is this? So Alonso coming around turn 12, 13. Let's have a look what Alonso sees. So here's Alonso here. This is his first time past the scene. We'll come on to number 14, Alonso. So he's coming into that complex by turn 14. Okay, let's have a look. Right, radio message. Latifi's car is crashed there.
So watch out for debris on the outside of 14.
Okay, so that's Alonso going by there the first time. And we'll go back to track view, and you can see Alonso down there. Oh, this is where Max's much fresher tyres will light up on any kind of restart, says Brundle. Now, if again, we'll fast forward it 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 seconds, 110. Now Alonso's in this safety car. This is Alonso's second time past the incident. Let's have a look, shall we? See, he's caught the car in front of him. This is how the safety car procedure unfolds. The cars start to bunch after doing that first part to a delta. Okay, we're coming by that incident again.
And still the double waved yellow, turn 14 as well.
Okay, yeah, thanks for that. Oh shit, what can we see now? Not a lot because it's fucking smoky. Oh, so a whole lap later the car's still there, right? And now it's even worse because you can't see fuck all because there's smoke. And now there's a load of powder on the track. Now Alonso, being the experienced driver that he is, he'll know. What does Alonso know?
Yeah, we should unlap.
Alonso thinks that we should unlap. Why would you think that, Fernando? I mean, you can't unlap while there's still a crashed car on the track. Alonso knows, like, he's been involved in enough Grand Prix to realise that the unlapping procedure doesn't take place until the track is declared safe.
Get the job done.
To get this job done. To get this job done, Fernando.
Until they retire the car.
Until they retire the car. Now, is that Perez's retirement, or is this just lost in translation, Fernando? Do you mean retire? Do you mean remove Latifi's car? No, because you can't do the unlapping until it's safe. Okay, the whole purpose of deploying the safety car is to slow everybody down, make things safe. Okay, bunch the field up so that each time this safety car snake goes by, there's a window of opportunity for them to be making that track safe. And then once it's made safe, you then carry out the unlapping procedure then. But Fernando's saying, oh, we should do it now to get the job done. Now, we can get a similar understanding of what's really going on when we look at Sebastian Vettel. But again, I don't want to make this video too long.
Because if not, it's going to be too late.
If not, it's going to be too late. And then we can go round again, actually. We can go round again. In fact, let's go round again.
Any more racing laps? If there are, then Verstappen has got the tyres.
The tyres, right. Will there be any more racing laps? 10 seconds forward, 10 seconds forward, 10 seconds forward. We'll keep going round. And we'll come back by the instant again. We'll see what Fernando has got to say about it. Okay, we're coming back round again. We'll go back across to Fernando Alonso. Here he is, look. I have to keep stopping it, because otherwise copyright. What can we see from Fernando's car? We can see a crane on the track. There it is, look. There's a crane removing Latifi's car, okay? Now, there is still a load of white powder on the track, which is going to significantly affect grip levels. Has to be swept. The clerk of the course is responsible for ensuring the safety of that track, and he has to be satisfied it's safe before he radios back to race control to declare the track safe. But Fernando would like to tell us what he thinks in the comments section.
So at the end of this lap, there will be 20 laps remaining.
Okay, Fernando.
Yeah, come on. Let unlap the guys. Next.
Unlap the guys. Fernando, you're not the clerk of the course. It's the clerk of the course's job, their responsibility to do that.
Lap is going to in 2 laps time.
Too late, or in 2 laps time. Fernando knows that in order for this to be made to happen, Fernando wants this to happen. You see, the thing is as well with Fernando, okay, is that we can go round to, where is it that Fernando says it? I think it's is it around here? I think it's around here.
About 4 cars behind you.
Yeah, and he should be 2 cars in front of me.
Max Verstappen's 4 cars behind you. Yeah, and he should be 2 cars in front of me. Let's just hear that again.
Cars behind you.
Let's just clarify it was Max Verstappen.
Okay, so we got Verstappen in P2 is about 4 cars behind you.
Verstappen in P2 is 4 cars behind you.
Yeah, and he should be 2 cars in front of me.
Yeah, Verstappen in position 2 should be 2 cars in front of me. Let's have a look at data view.
Sebastian.
Now, your Alonso's in 9th position here because Red Bull, they have actually retired Perez to hand Mercedes the Constructors' Championship. So actually, once he drops out of that running order, that will promote Alonso to 8th position in that race. If Max is 2 positions in front of you, Fernando, that would put Max in 6th. You've just been told that he's in 2nd. Why would 2nd only be 2 cars in front of you, Fernando? And Fernando, prior to Latifi crashing, Max hadn't lapped you. Yeah, why should it be 2 cars in front of you, Fernando? To get this job done. What's this job, Fernando? Okay, now you see, that's just conspiracy theory, isn't it? You know, that's just one mistake by Fernando. But I can go through every single driver and every single communication and pick out the inauthentic things like this. It's rather strange where you can see this many supposed errors. Okay, errors by all of the broadcasters, errors by all of the FIA, all of the stewards, all of the media afterwards. But you know what we get. We'll come to that one, Charlie. We'll come to that one. You know, you did make this claim that I won't talk to you. I'll happily talk to you. Let's clarify.
Or if you want my opinion as a professional F1 pundit with such integrity and journalistic standards, my mate F1 XED won't even mention me.
I did. You see, I did, and I demonstrated that I did in that video, the one with the bullshit. But this is what the original mention was, and in some regards, Charlie, I could be thankful to you for you giving my channel a mention, on the grounds that my subscriber count has increased by somewhere in the region, probably 50 to 60 people have subscribed to my channel, and I can only presume it's off the back of this mention by yourself in this video and the number of shorts that you've produced. Now, that could be a double-edged sword because they could be quality people or they could be twats, okay? Tango Whiskey Alpha Tangos, all right? Because we both know, Charlie, there's many twats out there, and we'll go through some of the comments to this video to explore that notion. But this is what Charlie had to say in this video, so let's have a look.
But all of the Twitter comments, the Instagram comments, the YouTube comments, the bricks with notes chucked through windows, all of them pale into insignificance with the commentary and the comment given by one F1 YouTuber who is now my favourite YouTuber in the world. He is a man called James Atkins, who
Here I am, look.
has a YouTube channel called Fixed, stylized F1 XED. This gentleman is pure gold. He will go on hour and a half long rants, just straight into the mic, just into the computer microphone itself.
Absolutely right, Charlie.
No, none of this setup, just straight into the mic, no video, anything like that, just screen recording whatever he's looking at on his computer.
I'm not as visually attractive as you, Charlie. So, you carry on presenting in your style.
The man is gold. The man is an Abu Dhabi 2021 truther.
A truther. You see, when somebody's presented as a truther, often that is presented as a negative. The phrase truther is often seen as in the same notion as conspiracy theorist. used to discredit and undermine a person's message.
He is so aggrieved by an event that happened on one weekend 4 years ago, involving people he has never met and never will meet in another country 4 years ago, and it has sent him on a crusade of truth that he is still fighting to this day.
Now, you see, Charlie, there's an important aspect to this. There's things that take place in this world that are going on right now, which are presented to us a certain way, and that's not the truth of the situation. We are just presented with narrative, and many of those things, none of us are going to be able to evidence that truth. The only people that actually could evidence it are generally those that are involved in it and are profiting from it, and therefore aren't going to broadcast the truth. Okay, it's not in their interest to broadcast the truth. Just like all of those involved in Formula One, it's not in their interest to broadcast the truth. They're all making huge sums of money out of this, and they're going to keep secret the crimes that they are party to. Now, the difference is with all the other things that are taking place in this world that we cannot evidence. We can evidence it with Abu Dhabi 2021. I lived it, you lived it, we all lived it. We all were presented with something on the television. We all were duped. We all had that global media explaining it to us a certain way that we knew it wasn't like that. We knew that there's a safety car procedure. We know that that safety car stays out for an additional lap beyond the mandatory lap. They didn't really talk about that too much. They glossed over that. They don't present the real reason why that procedure exists. And then every media presentation of the event in the aftermath focused on entirely different things. The notion of, oh, absolutely deserved it, led the most amount of laps. All of the bullshit. All of the bullshit. And the simplicity of it was about the unlapping procedure and why it must be done, and yet nobody talked about that. And this is the thing, we can look through all of the evidence of exactly what took place and how the media described that and demonstrate that this is entirely fraudulent. And if we can actually wake the world up to demonstrating to people, look, this is what they did to us. This is what they did to each and every one of us. 108.7 million people have been reported to have watched that season finale. That is the number of people that tuned in to watch the event. Far, far more of people will have heard by listening to the news and reading about it afterwards. You know, so supposedly there's 500 million fans of the sport worldwide. So therefore, at least 500 million people should be aware of supposedly what took place at Abu Dhabi 2021. But all they're aware of is the fraudulent narrative that they have been fed. Now, if we can demonstrate to people that this is what really took place, before this actually took place, okay, you've got Nicholas Latifi being told it had to be this lap. There was a choreographed fight between him and Schumacher. Latifi then rounded turn 14 in third gear when normally he goes round there in fourth gear. Okay, he crashed. Oh no. And there's bound to be a couple of racing laps. Well, the data doesn't say that, Charlie. I've done the data. You've got commentary of Martin Brundle and David Croft going, oh, will there be any more racing laps? Max's much fresher tyres will fire up on any kind of restart. And then when they realise the car's caught fire, and when they realise this clear-up operation is taking longer than anticipated, oh, will they release the lapped cars? I'm not sure it's mandatory, but that's normally on a wet day where they don't. Oh, lapped cars will not be allowed to overtake. It's not mandatory. That leaves Max with a lot to do. And it's ending, wow! All happening real time, Charlie. Supposedly real time. That's not authentic. Not a single one of them said, this isn't allowed to happen like this. That safety car can't be withdrawn like that. All 8 cars have to be released, not just 5 of 8. And then the safety car returns to the pits at the end of the following lap, because you've got to afford these lapped cars the opportunity to make it around the track and link up with the back of the safety car, Snake. That is the intention of those regulations. Not a single commentator said that, Charlie. Neither live nor in the aftermath. Not a single one. Why is that, Charlie? They are the presented experts. Extrapolate this notion to everything else that we are informed about in this world. Now, I realise that the manner in which you present, okay, you don't really care. You'd rather be sarcastic about everything. You'd rather present in a kind of rocket-powered mohawk style, which is fine. Okay, if that's how you wish to present, not a problem. There is clearly a market for that, and clearly you've got your audience, and they will appreciate that, as indeed rocket-powered mohawk does. The problem is that people are duped, people have been defrauded, and that same dynamic exists in our lives, impacting our lives. And that is what I'm seeking to wake people up to. Do you understand that, Charlie? Do you understand that? We'll carry on with what you had to say.
His YouTube videos are numerous and brilliant, with such titles as Hamilton Hated by Media, F1 Use Alex Brun.
You see, with that one, Hamilton is hated by media. If you went back into the historic Grand Prix and you listened to the manner in which Hamilton is presented, and he is presented as being lucky, fortunate, vilified on occasions, and you compare that with how Max Verstappen has been promoted ever since 2021, at the beginning of the 2021 season, when Hamilton is a 7-time world champion and Max Verstappen is a winner of 8 or 9 Grand Prix in his entire career at that stage. You've got Martin Brundle saying, and 2 of the greatest drivers this sport has ever seen. What? How can you compare a 7-time world champion with a 0-time world champion and describe the 2 as 2 of the greatest you've ever seen? Rather strange. And then ever since, we've been fed the Max Verstappen, the greatest you've ever seen narrative. I don't recall another driver in the history of this sport that's committed the number of egregious infringements that Max Verstappen has. Have you seen that level of authentic reporting in this sport? I haven't. We'll carry on with my other titles.
Most people think...
Advert of my own video. Wait there. Actually, that wasn't my own video. That was yours, Charlie. Bit of channel revenue from that video. Anyway, father and son, rapists. Alex Brundle and Martin Brundle. Indeed, they rape your minds. Those people that lie to you to condition your mind with an agenda, they're defrauding you. That is an abuse of you. And if you don't realise that, just carry on smiling and enjoying it. Okay? If you don't realise that constitutes an abuse, just educate yourself.
His dad, the Formula One of the mind, fat lying.
Yep, absolutely true.
Davidson sucks off Verstappen, and
Yep, and go and have a watch of those videos. Because what I do, I demonstrate this is what they're saying, and this is the truth of the situation.
many more. I mean, listen to his take about Monza.
What Formula One is, it's not a sport. It's an extension of the global mind conditioning media machine. It impacts your values. There's no right and there's no wrong. Everything's up for negotiation and opinion, and how it makes you feel, everybody, because that's what they want to condition you to believe in this world. There's no right and there's no wrong. It's all about how you feel about it, everybody. There's no specific rules. We can just negotiate the rules depending on who we're negotiating them for.
Anyway, so this is...
I know it's difficult to listen to, Charlie, okay? I know these things. They do kick you in the mind, but they're designed to. I realise I am not going to appeal to the masses. But what I aim to do is, to those people that are willing to listen to the content, hopefully it will help them see some sort of perspective. And those with the ability to then produce content of their own, I would urge them to do so. I would urge them to draw upon the things that I'm trying to expose, utilize their skills to try and help other people see the reality of the situation. Now, it might not bring mass appeal, okay? Check out this latest video, Charlie. Lying motherfucker. This is Ross Atkins. Ross Atkins, the presented... He's no relation, by the way. He's not a relation of mine, he's Ross. I know we've got the same surname. But if he was ever there at a family gathering, I'd knock the cunt out because he's a cunt. So no relation. But go and have a look at that, and you'll see that the BBC are lying to you. Okay? They are lying to you. And this is what we need to wake people up to the notion of what's really taking place, Charlie. Now, the problem is, Charlie, I wouldn't recommend you did so. And the reason I wouldn't, it will probably stunt your channel growth. You will probably get shadow banned, which will restrict your growth. And if your intention is to grow your channel, I mean, you've got a channel that's, 8.5 thousand subscribers already. I'm only at about 8.7 thousand, so I'm only a couple of hundred more than you at the moment, max. Okay, and you'll soon overtake me, and you'll soon then grow at a much faster rate. And good luck to you. Okay, I would probably advise you, if you want to become a YouTube success, to avoid the topic of Abu Dhabi. Because as soon as you start speaking about certain things in a certain way, your channel growth gets stunted. As soon as you start talking about Abu Dhabi, you get the troll farms come in. Okay? But don't you worry about that. We'll come back to that in a minute.
His take on Max Verstappen pushing the McLaren off track at the start of the race. Let's take a little listen.
Why is he driving the other car off the track? That's driven somebody off the track. That's driving like a Cena. That's something that this guy has done throughout his career. Oh, but he's the best you've ever seen. Wank boy Brundle and Crofty will have you believe that this constitutes being the greatest ever.
Oh, Christ alive, the man's passionate, I'll give him that. He also talks about one of the stewards of the race for Monza, and he also has an issue with that as well. So we can take a listen to that.
The stewards at the Italian Grand Prix are Derek Warwick, cocksucker extraordinaire.
Steady on.
Owns a Honda car dealership on the Isle of Jersey. The FIA haven't realised that constitutes a conflict of interest, but it does. So he shouldn't be stewarding in an event where a Honda powered car, he's making judgment calls on that Honda powered car because he has ties with Honda. So that's a problem.
Derek Warwick, I don't know much about the guy. But Derek Warwick owning a small Honda dealership, as you can see here, on the Isle of Jersey, well off, it's closer to France than it is to England, and it has a population of 100,000.
The location of Jersey is not really relevant, but thanks for that.
All of them very, very wealthy, because it's a tax haven. His ownership of a Honda dealer has absolutely no bearing on his Formula One stewardship in any way, shape or form. How you can draw, I mean, I like to draw dots, I like to draw string, but it's just not a thing. I'm sorry.
Charlie, let me just demonstrate something to you, Charlie. You've got the access to something called the internet, okay? Ask the internet, okay, what is a conflict of interest, okay? And one of the answers you get back will be something like this, okay? It says a conflict of interest is a situation where an individual, let's call that one Derek Warwick, for example, or entity, faces competing interests that may compromise their ability to act impartially. Now, as a steward of a Formula One Grand Prix, you're expected to act impartially, okay? Not make a decision based on something that you might have an interest in, okay? Now, if he has an interest in Honda cars because he owns a Honda car dealership and that therefore sales of Honda cars affect his livelihood, his wealth, that Honda brand was associated with Formula One. By associating yourself with the pinnacle of motorsport, that creates kudos. Why do all brands associated with the sport, whether they are directly involved in terms of supplying engines to the sport, being constructors in that sport, or just the brands that put their names and logos on the cars to sponsor those cars, why do they do that? Well, they do that because they want global exposure. That global exposure can lead to sales of that car, of them products. If that particular car manufacturer is successful, that is great kudos for that car manufacturer. Okay, people's perceptions of that car manufacturer will be enhanced. Therefore, you can put 2 and 2 together is it may impact the sales of Honda cars. Now, if somebody who owns a Honda car dealership then makes the decisions as to who wins and makes a decision where you go, oh, if I make this decision, it means Honda wins, that constitutes a conflict of interest. His ability to make an impartial decision is compromised because of his vested interest in the success of the Honda car brand. Now, that's the way it works, Charles. Okay, that's what a conflict of interest is. Okay, now here's another one, Charlie. Have a look at this one. What is fraud? And you can look at the various different explanations of what is a fraud. Fraud is defined as an intentionally deceptive action aimed at providing the perpetrator with an unlawful gain or denying a victim's rights. It involves deceit with the intention to illegally or unethically gain at the expense of another. Examples of fraud include tax fraud, credit card fraud, and securities fraud. In legal terms, fraud is considered a wrongful act that can be classed as either civil or criminal. Now, you see, what the sport of Formula One did was defraud all of us. Okay, it manipulated the outcome of a sporting event. Go and look at sport fraud. Use the internet. It's fraud. Match fixing is fraud. What did they do to present that to us? Oh, they used the media to normalise fraud. What was their gain? Well, what they wanted to do, they wanted to excite the kiddies, okay? Keep the kiddies excited by the spectacle. Nobody wants to see a race end behind the safety car, do they? Everybody wants to see a last lap shootout to excite the children, everybody. That's what they told you, Charlie. What's that doing? That's manipulating people. That's an abuse of people. That's using their control of a situation to create an emotional reaction within the kiddies who they purposely attracted to watch their show so that their show achieved growth. It got a bigger fan base. By having a bigger fan base, that means more eyes on the show. That means that they can charge their sponsors and their advertisers more money for that advertising space because more eyes will be on the prize, on the brands. Formula One makes money, providing the perpetrator with an unlawful gain. Yeah, they did that, Charlie. That's what they did. You see, this is the construct, Charlie. You get the billionaires, okay, the billionaires in this world, Charlie, and let's call it Formula One are the billionaires owned by Liberty Media. Let's call them the billionaires. And what the billionaires do, they ultimately control governments. Okay, so in the United Kingdom, it's not Keir Starmer that's making policies. Okay, Keir Starmer is a puppet. Okay, it's the billionaires that say we want this to happen because this makes us money. And they utilise the government to make those decisions, and them decisions don't impact they don't help our lives. They don't provide for our lives for all the things that we need to have in our country. No, what they do, they enable the billionaires to make money out of all those situations. How does that work in Formula One, Charlie? Oh, well, the way it works in Formula One is the billionaires, Liberty Media, they influence the government, the governing body, the FIA, to do things a certain way to make the billionaires money. Do you see how it works, Charlie? Do you see it's exactly the same dynamics, Charlie. See, that's why I'm trying to use the dynamics of Formula One to try and wake people up, Charlie. But don't do that, because that'll restrict your channel growth. It's exactly the same dynamics. And here's the other thing, Charlie. The media play their role because the media mind condition the masses. Just like the BBC will tell you, oh, we're all needing ID cards because of the migrant crisis, and Israel's got a right to defend itself for what happened by slaughtering hundreds of thousands of people, because that's the art of defense, isn't it? Yeah, just like we get mind conditioning to believe the agendas and the narratives by the mainstream media. That's what happened in Formula One as well. Oh, how long will they wait? Will they let the lap runners through? I don't think it's mandatory, but that's normally on a wet day. And how do you unravel that? I mean, Max did nothing wrong. Red Bull did nothing wrong. Carlos Sainz in third, for example. He did nothing wrong. Max absolutely deserved it. He led the most amount. The mind conditioning machine. Where in the media did you hear the simplicity of, well, there's a requirement to do this in the regulations, and it's for the purpose of restoring sporting fairness to all competitors, because Lando Norris, okay, was in 8th position, and 7th position Gasly disappeared off around the track and joined the end of the safety car snake prior to the resumption of any race that's been interrupted by deploying the safety car, neutralising that race. You've got to restore the restart condition. And that is releasing the lap cars, affording them the time to make it around, and ideally link up with the back of that safety car snake to restore sporting fairness to all competitors prior to the resumption of that race. Where did you hear that, Charlie? Well, you didn't hear that. Why not, Charlie? Oh, it's because the media are all complicit with that corrupt agenda, that corrupt narrative. Do you see the problem here, Charlie? Because these dynamics extrapolate to everything that's going on in this world. And I'm just trying to point out to people, look, this is what is going on, Charlie. Okay, they give us circuses. They give us the football. They give us the Formula One for us to be excited about and for us to all argue about in the comments section. And oh, it's the best you've ever... No, Charlie. Let's take a look at what's going on here. And like I say, with Formula One, here's something I can evidence. Despite me knowing that the financial structure of this world is a load of bollocks, okay, that's all a construct as well, I can't evidence it. There's other people that are better placed to do so than myself. But I can do this with Formula One. So you know what? I am doing. I'm using what I can do to try and help other people see what is really going on. But what you've done here, you seem to be wanting to discredit and undermine and present with sarcasm of me being a certain way. And perhaps I am that way.
It's just not a thing. His stewardship of a Formula One race and his connection to Honda who provides the origin of a power unit run by a different company called Red Bull.
Yeah. Honda were providing the power unit in 2021. And despite this rebranding to be Red Bull powertrains, it's still essentially Honda.
Powertrains with relative help from Honda, but Honda are leaving it anyway, and Honda are going to Aston Martin. And supposedly because he has a Honda dealership, there is absolutely no way that him coming down on the side of a Honda-powered car as one of 4 stewards has any bearing on one of his salesmen with their skinny trousers and their slick back hair selling an old woman a Honda Jazz. It's just not a thing, James. It's just not a thing.
Thanks for your valuable insight there, Charles.
F1 XED. It's just such not a...
It is.
I think, here's my hot take for you. Here's my hot take. Everybody needs to calm the
More advertising revenue for you, Charles.
down. Calm down. Everybody calm down. The fans, the Twitter, the comments, the YouTube, the Instagram, the keyboard warriors and all the rest of it. Just everybody calm. I've hurt myself now doing that. Ow. The commentating, the James Atkins talking about mind control. Everybody needs to calm down, please.
Yeah, well, let's correct the situation first, Charlie. It's not about calming down. It's about being outraged at these bastards that are actually doing this on a global scale. Let's start waking people up to that, Charlie.
The thing that happens 24 times a year. They are not conditioning minds. They are not part of the New World Order. They didn't do 9/11. They did.
What's the New World Order, Charlie? Explain that, okay? Show us your valuable insight about your knowledge of that.
Didn't hit the Pentagon. The most that they can be accused of is doing their level best to make it as entertaining as possible, maybe fiddling around with how things are presented and inciting conversation. That's the most that they can be, because they're a business who want clicks, they want views, they want people talking, they want people rewatching stuff 25 times over.
They're a business, okay? What they are, Charlie, supposedly is a sport, okay? Now, sport should be authentic, and interest in it should be organic, not by contriving it and introducing fake drama, okay? Contrivance. The sports in this world that are the most watched, that have the biggest following, do they need to hype it up? Do they need to create tribal rivalries? Do they need to create division? Yes, there's division, but that didn't really exist in Formula One prior to the 2021 season. What caused that? That was the sport's agenda to do that. They purposefully manufactured that. And if you don't believe that, well, that's your opinion. You're entitled to an opinion, but you can trace back through the sport, and you can also look at the agendas of Formula One, which is documented as to how they want to grow the sport. They've done that. Go through the documents.
To see whether they're on the white line or not. They want all of that because they're a billionaire demon business who just want money.
Yeah, they just want money. So they want to create conflict where people argue about who was on or over the white line. So the sport wants you doing that, when the sport should be determining that in accordance with the rules of the sport, shouldn't they? So you're not focusing on what you should be focusing on. You should be saying, well, the sport should be authentic. It should have a governing body that is non-corrupt, and the people making the decisions should be making those decisions accurately. It's not a case of, in some sports where it's a referee refereeing a football match having to make a split-second decision in the moment, they blow their whistle and they award a free kick, for example, based on what they can see there that they don't get the benefit of a replay for. It's not like that in Formula One. In Formula One, you can review the cameras numerous times and then say, okay, there's the evidence of you doing that, and this is the penalty for you doing that. Why are they not doing that? Simple, isn't it? Very simple. Why are the stewards not making consistent decisions? Why are them decisions consistently favouring one person? What does that cause? Is that by design? And what does that then result in? Conflict, annoyance of people, enraging people, inciting people for clicks, division, hatred for clicks, for them making money. See what they're doing? This is what happens to all of us in our lives. Are you endorsing that, are you, Charlie? Because I'm not. The world could be a lot more harmonious if it wasn't for them sorts of dynamics. Why should we tolerate that? Why should there be people making money out of making people outraged? Why should that happen?
Which is All it is. And you're fighting in the comments, giving them the engagement and the clicks that they want.
Well, you see, I'm not seeking to outrage people. I'm just seeking to present the truth of the situation to people. Okay? When people wake up to that, the outrage should be generated at those perpetrators who are causing this dynamic. They're the focus of the attention.
Relax. All of the people that you are fighting about, commenting on, cheering on, and all, they wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire. They don't care. This is how much involvement that you should have in Formula One as a healthy human being with stuff going on in their lives. It's a Sunday, maybe you have Sunday lunch, maybe you go for a walk, maybe you've been to the gym in the morning, you sit down at around 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon as British viewer. I know the rest of you have a hardship. That's not what I'm on about. You sit down, you've had some lunch, you sit on the sofa, you have a fart, you get comfortable, you watch 2 hours of racing, you have a little bit of comment with it, maybe with the person you're watching, maybe with someone over text, maybe you're in my Patreon race chat and you're having a little giggle about whatever, and then when it's done, you put the phone down, you tried not to fall asleep towards the end of it because you had a big lunch and you had a glass of wine, and now you're going to go outside and you're going to have a fag, and then you're going to come in and you're going to turn the fucking channel over and you're going to watch an old rerun of Top Gear, for fuck's sake. That is all that you should be doing, honestly. Old mate James Atkins, FE Fixed, he needs to be doing something more worthwhile than Formula One. Get him making 9/11 documentaries. Get him making videos about Epstein's Island and anything. The Vegas shoot, it doesn't matter. Just get him on something important.
Well, you see, Charlie, I don't have the evidence of any of them things, and nor will I be able to obtain the evidence of any of them things. Okay? I've got the evidence of Formula One. It was clear for us all to see. I can use the evidence of what was presented to us all by the media, and I can demonstrate that all to be false. You see, what I will be going on to, Charlie, is demonstrating that the British justice system is corrupt, and that the British judiciary are systematically corrupt. And I will be making a new YouTube channel to expose them corrupt fuckers in the British judicial system. Okay, because I've got evidence of that, Charlie. And in the same way that I go through Formula One with a fine-tooth comb, I'll be exposing them motherfuckers with a fine-tooth comb. 6 UK judges so far. Corrupt, well, 4 of them corrupt as fuck. 2 just incompetent motherfuckers. And His Majesty's Courts and Tribunal Service, also both incompetent and corrupt as fuck. Yeah, I've got the evidence of that, Charlie. And when the people of this country actually realise what really goes on, oh, that's legal, you need legal advice for that. When people actually start waking up to what's really going on, they'll realise that the whole system is bullshit. And this is the system that we'd have to hold the likes of Formula One and the media to account within. That system is systematically corrupt. So the chance of being able to hold Formula One and the media to account for their fraud in a system which is corrupt, well, hopefully you realise that there's a problem here. This is the system that we live in. It's not fair. It's not upstanding and righteous. The entire fucking facade is corrupt. That's not a conspiracy theorist. I've got the evidence. You look surprised, Charlie. You look surprised. But that's the truth. And I will soon be making another YouTube channel to expose all of that I'm talking about, Charlie. Anyway.
Get him on the Epstein list. Not wanking on about Martin Brundle and David Croft, 2 slightly portly middle-aged men who sit in a box on a Sunday with a fucking microphone. Let's...
Lying to you. Lying to all the kids. And that does impact people's values. Impacts their people's understandings.
Get him on to Mohammed Atta and Larry Silverstein, you bunch of fucking pussy.
I'll make it.
Well, what we'll look at, Charlie, is ultimately, like I say, If you want your channel to grow, and like as we talked about, 8,500 subscribers. By the way, if any of you are watching this now, and Charlie might be producing the sort of content that you would be entertained by, and if so, go ahead and get yourself across to Charlie's channel and subscribe to Charlie. There's been about I think somewhere in the region of 50 to 60 people have come to my channel as a result of what Charlie said. But if you look at some of these comments, okay, and we'll just go to a couple of them. Fixed and his fellow cohorts need to be studied. Long form, right? Whatever. His Abu Dhabi conspiracies go all the way to the top. See, again, the notion of conspiracy theories. So this one here, psychology. This is Dolph Lundgren or Aura Clan, or he's had 5 or 6 different names. He's made about 7,000 comments on my channel. Okay, now this is the kind of person that's a weird motherfucker. Somebody who purposefully subscribes to a social media channel that they don't like, and every video that they produce, they go and basically make countless responses, responding to every other comment. He's made more comments on my channel than I've made on my channel myself, and this is what he finds hilarious. Hamilton is being nobbled by Mercedes. FIA is orchestrating a title comeback for Max Verstappen. Well, we'll see what happens this season, shall we? FIA fix all Max's titles and giving him illegal cars. Well, is it the FIA that have done that? Or, well, 2021, that was clearly a fixed championship. They broke the rules to gift him Abu Dhabi 2021. They gifted him the Grand Prix victory of the Belgian parade, which never even started. Never even met the FIA's requirement for a race to start, yet gave Max the win of that. It turned out there was a cost cap breach of the 2021 season that should have resulted in those Red Bull cars being disqualified from that season. Oh, no, you can keep the 2021 championship as well. But that cost cap breach had the knock-on effect of part of their budget for 2021 was developing the 2022 car. And we get to 2022, the new regulations, the Red Bull has smashed it out of the park due to Adrian Newey's genius, winning most races. And that was nothing to do with the 2021 overspend, was it not? And then 2023, that's the rocket ship that did pretty much win every race because of Newey's genius. Again, that's a development of the already illegal 2022 car. Now, during 2022, we got the flexible plank. The plank designed to flex in 2 places where you're not allowed to do that. Oh, that's a grey area, a loophole. But we didn't punish them for that, did you? No, you just made that out to be a anti-porpoising directive, didn't you? That all got hushed up and swept under the carpet. Don't you worry, little heads. Red Bull, you've got 4 more races to carry on winning, and then it's a new anti-porpoising directive. That's fine. Don't you worry about that. Checo's car, that fell off in terms of performance, but not Max's. And then 2023 won everything. Oh, Max, the best you've ever seen. 2024 starts, and again, the first 8-9 races, Max is the best you've ever seen. That rocket ship Newey car is brilliant, and then it's not. It was winning races by 20 seconds, and now it's getting beaten by more than 20 seconds. That's a 40-second turnaround by McLaren's. Where did that come from? Then there's mention of an asymmetric braking device. Who is enforcing the rules here? And now this season, it's the Red Bull tractor. But now in that tractor, Max is still able to set pole positions and win. But that's just down to his talent, not due to this variable performance of the Red Bull car. It's sometimes a rocket ship and sometimes not. And it's sometimes due to Max's driving, and it's sometimes to do with the circuit and whatever. And Max finding the setup because he's braver than everybody else. That's right, okay. Latifi crashed on purpose to help Max. And Dolph here thinks that unlapping, he thinks my ridiculous notion is that the unlapping is done for sporting fairness. This is one of your valuable subscribers, Charlie. The whole world was in on the fix to rob Lewis. Everyone worked together and stop him from winning his 8th. Good luck. It will be fun though. You see, they all did stay quiet. They all knew that this was wrong. They all knew that they were disadvantaged. They were all eligible to protest the result, and yet they didn't. And why didn't they? Oh, they all kept quiet, and they all made money because they all got a share of the prize money, and that prize money is linked to the revenue of the sport. And if the revenue of the sport increases, the prize money increases. Not only does the prize money increase, they can also charge more for the sponsorship space on their cars, because that space carries more value because it gets more eyes on it. Because the global marketing roadshow is now more popular. If you want to advertise your brand in this global marketing roadshow, that's going to cost you more money to us, each and every one of these Formula One teams. Oh, that's going to impress the shareholders, isn't it? Cha-ching! Yeah, we won't protest Abu Dhabi 2021 to demonstrate to the world that the sport rigged the final event of the season. Yeah, people might turn off the show if they realise that the sport itself rigged it. So we won't. So you've got that, Charlie. You know, these are the people that come to try to discredit my content. This one, S Yoko 74. This one's relatively recent. There's a troll of my channel. Prickly Porcupine. You know, all these pricks come to my channel to seek to discredit and undermine. This is the way it is. Prickly Porcupine will tell you that it's more likely, as soon as I find the videos made of you that you've made of me, sorry, I will make an hour-long video. Well, it's probably 2 by now, of you making a video of him. Also, a 10-part series. Well, probably not 10 parts, Charlie. Probably not. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see how many parts I make of this. Let's have a look. Can you recommend some... Charlie, can you recommend some credible news sources? Because Linda would like to know. There you go. Have a look. Fixed needs mental help. Because these people in the comments section, they're all experts in mental health. I've had many diagnoses online about my mental health. It's very valuable. He needs to be not allowed to look at anything about Formula One. It's not good for him. He's been doing this for 5 years. Somebody can't count. Charlie responds with 2 laughing face emojis. Yeri, this is Yeri. 1, 2, just the 3 comments from Yeri this time. The plus or minus 40-year-old dude behind Fix. Where's the word? There it is. Psychopath. So I'm frequently described as a psychopath by Yeri. Yeah, and it's about being English as well. It's about being English, so and a psychopath. And British poison, a psychopath. That's nice projection there from Yeri, one of your subscribers. Nice. Finally, someone sensible without ADHD. I subbed. No, I don't know whether he's replying to you or about me or what. And this notion of ADHD, attention deficit something, whatever. Now, with that, I see a lot of videos where every few seconds you have to introduce a little bit of a clip to keep people's attention, because otherwise they struggle to maintain attention. I know my video will make certain people struggle to maintain their attention, because it's just a guy speaking into his microphone as he's reading out some comments. Yeah, it doesn't keep your attention. Never mind. Maybe I should improve upon that. Anyway, What's about this? We need more videos and talks about the F1 social media feud situation, because social media in F1 is getting out of hand, but I still think it's savable. More actions have to be taken now before F1 turns into another football. Okay. Right, okay. Maybe. Let's just come down here. That fixed fella is a funny chap. Maybe you should bring him for a video collab. Now, funny as in funny ha-ha or funny peculiar? That is the question. Anyway, somebody loves your videos, which is nice. Is Fixed the superhero bullshit man Carl Pilkington was talking about? Well, I just try and inform people. That's all I try and do. I troll Fixed. He's a Hamilton throat goat, and I keep on calling him strap on, but he never gives me a heart. Sorry, Nightcrawler. The reason I don't give you a heart, because if you're a cunt, then I'm not going to give you a heart, am I? It's just how it is. There we go. There's a few more. Let's just go down here a bit. Is that cooked? Is that supposed to be me? Sounds like a flat earth conspiracy nut. I wasn't expecting you to become a debunking channel. Can't wait for his video claiming Spa Frank or Champ is... Yeah, thanks for the valuable insight. That Fixed guy has such a punchable voice. Thanks for that, Tom Charlton. Okay. You're welcome to try. Whenever we might meet, Tom, you're welcome to try and punch my voice. Anyway, you're welcome to try and punch me as well, Tom. But you've got to be aware that every action provokes an equal and opposite reaction, or maybe an overwhelming reaction. Okay, depending on how things turn out to be. Don't worry about that. What's about this one? Let's just go down these. Charlie Sturgess, I am your big... Yeah, okay. Let's see, that's one of theirs. You weren't kidding about Fix. Brother is an actual psychopath. Edit, the example you included is even better than the one I listened to. LMFAO. I believe amongst the kiddies that means that I laughed my fucking ass off, something like that. Now I've never laughed so hard that my ass has fallen off, but Charlie loved that one as well. Mental fans and commentators. The schizophrenia is strong with this one, loved by Charlie. Do Max Verstappen. That's the level of the smooth brain. Yeah. You see, Charlie. There's a different level between your comments and my comments. The majority, and I say majority, the fan base that I have, I say fan base, that's entirely the wrong word. The people who have chosen to subscribe to my channel done so because they've started to see what's really going on. Okay, I've even said that wrong. Describing them as started, there's many of them that are far more aware and more knowledgeable than I am about certain things that are going on in this world, and they're probably just glad and appreciate that somebody is willing to talk about what is taking place in Formula One. And I hope that what I'm seeking to do has enabled more people to start seeing what's really going on. Perhaps Charlie Sturgess should debate Fixed at the APXGP headquarters. You see, this notion of debate, it's not a debate, okay? It's not an argument, it's not a discussion. It is what it is. Okay, I'm not here to argue about Abu Dhabi 2021. I'm just presenting what is. It's not an argument. And this is what the wank rags in the comments section don't seem to understand. Okay? I'm saying, look, this happened. And then I'm presenting the evidence of that happening. Okay? If you think something else, I don't give a fuck what you think. Okay? I'm not arguing with you because I've just demonstrated this has just taken place. Okay? It has to be this lap, Nicholas. Give it all you've got. That happened. And then later that lap, he crashed. I'm saying at the start of that lap, he was told it had to be this lap, right? And then that lap, he crashed. What do you want to debate? Nothing to debate. That happened. You can tell me whether you think what you think it had to be. I don't give a fuck what you think. Because it doesn't matter what you think or what anybody thinks. What matters is what did happen. And what did happen is he was told it had to be this lap. He crashed that lap. Are they connected? It doesn't matter. But it's fucking suspicious, isn't it? Not only is that suspicious, everything else that took place is suspicious. Every team communication is suspicious. Everything said by the global commentary is suspicious. Everything that the FIA did is not in accordance with the rules of the sport, hence is suspicious. Everything that the media presented is suspicious. Oh, you don't get that many things that can all be described as just suspicious if something is authentic. If something is authentic, you don't need to make excuses. You've got to make 100 excuses to present Abu Dhabi as just being, oh yeah, it's just one guy that was under pressure. Yeah, but what about all the other things that you can pick out that are just not right? Not authentic, not in accordance with the rules of the sport. Before the error happened. None of the media being able to pick out the nature of the error and the impact on the race, and that you can't separate out just two competitors in a multi-competitor event and set them off to the race for the shootout win. Not a single media actually presented that, did they? So I love trolling fixed, says Crooks here. No, we know this. We know this. Johnny Wankrag enjoys trolling fixed. This is the kind of wankrags that exist in society. But Charlie enjoys that. Charlie hearted that somebody loves trolling me. This is the dynamics of so-called social media. People being cunts in what should be social. Yeah? You see, back in the day, right, social interaction involved actually being face-to-face with people, okay? And if you were a cunt face-to-face with people, there would be a consequence, okay? If you were a cunt and you couldn't back it up physically, you would get knocked the fuck out, okay? But these Johnny Wankrags sit behind their computer and troll away on their computers thinking that they're immune to all this. That's their existence. That's the world that they've grown up in. I'm only here to spread nonsense, says Stefan HU. When Charlie says that dude is insane, you know he is. See, 10 people like that. And Charlie responds with the laughing face emoji. You see, within everything, Charlie, there's levels. Okay? Oh man, that fixed channel has been at it non-stop since December 2021. It's comedy gold. You see, and Charlie likes that as well. But you see, he's wrong. The crystal chassis. You're wrong there, crystal chassis. And I'll explain why that you're wrong. Not that one. Not that one, Charlie Charles. Not that one. Not lying motherfucker, my latest one. We'll go to my videos right here. And we'll go to oldest video. This is my first one. Right? And we'll go to the first video.
In the UK.
Advert. advert, right? And go to here. 3rd of December 2022. So I didn't start making videos till almost a year after Abu Dhabi 2021. And I didn't want to be making videos myself. I wanted to established YouTubers to be using their platforms to describe it in the manner that I could. I'd been campaigning on Facebook for the best part of 2022, almost a year on there. Writing articles I'd written to all the media companies because I thought that could make a difference. I wasn't here to ask other people what they thought in the comments section. No, I was going to the people who should have been able to expose the truth of the situation to a global audience. Those people that expose the lies to a global audience. I was trying to inform them of the error of their ways, and what happens is you find that they just ignored you. And that's what then starts waking you up, and then I'm complaining to the authorities and they ignore you. And you start realising that actually this is just an entire top-down contrivance. And the UK Serious Fraud Office won't investigate this because if something impacts the economy, oh, they'll turn a blind eye to fraud. But don't you worry your little heads. You've got the internet at your disposal. You can do your research over the UK Serious Fraud Office. But you won't. You won't. You'll just you'll make content that's just going to excite the smooth brains. But it is what it is. Get him on the Epstein list. Bro found the fixed channel. It's a fucking goldmine, dude. Well, indeed, but it's probably not the gold mine that you're necessarily going to understand. It's what it is. Haha, the amount of anger he had after Brazil last year was priceless. That wasn't particularly anger, I don't think. I was just debunking the notion of it being a masterclass, which is how they presented it to us, which it wasn't. There we go. James can be accused of many things, but he certainly has no fear of sounding stupid. Quite the contrary, he stands tall whilst ranting about conspiracies. What a man. Conspiracies, people working together to make an outcome a certain way. People conspiring to produce something to be a certain way. No, that never happened, does it? No, if anybody thinks that happens, that makes you a conspiracy theorist, doesn't it? And we should just laugh at them, shouldn't we? Yeah. I guess that Mr. Fix should be put down to intensive care after any Max success. It's nice to hear from Charlie. Thanks for that. What else? There we go. I think that's the end of the comment section. You see, look, Charlie. Like I said, we'll go back to the original video that you made of me. This one here. Now, like I said, you did give me a mention. It has resulted in about 50 or 60 subscribers coming over to my channel. The quality of those subscribers, who knows? It might be people that appreciate the content. It might be people that have just come over to seek to discredit and troll. Twats. Who knows, Charlie? All right. What I will say, Charlie, as advice, is if you want your channel to grow, don't be talking about Abu Dhabi 2021. You will get shadow banned. And if you don't understand certain things, just don't talk about them. Okay? Don't be part of those people that are misinforming people. Some people might find you entertaining, but don't misinform people. Okay? That does damage. So the videos that I make where I will expose people, like Wonderful, for example, who described my channel as a hate channel, my desire, the purpose of my channel was to get people to hate Max Verstappen, was how he described me. Well, I went through and demonstrated the truth of that dynamic. The truth is, no, I don't like Max Verstappen, for good reason. For good reason, he's not authentic in terms of being the champion, but also his characteristics as a human being aren't good, and that's enabled. You know, I've never seen another driver in the sport of Formula One enabled to get away with the infringements that he gets away with, and yet the entire global media fluffs this guy and presents him and projects him to all the followers of the sport that that's the best we've ever seen. And I know for sure it's not. Okay? It's all narrative. And so that is my valid reasons for not buying into this suck Max Verstappen off narrative. Okay? It's not something that I like at all. So it is what it is. But I'm not a I want you to hate Max Verstappen channel. I'm just exposing the true dynamics of the situation. And the Max Verstappen fanboys like, oh, you hate my favourite. You just hate my favourite. Maybe the lads that come to my channel, okay, go and subscribe to Charlie, because Charlie will probably offer you more of the content that you desire. Okay, but I know you'll still be at mine because you can't wait for every video that I push out there just so you control it. Anyway, thank you all for your time. If you've not already done so, go and subscribe. Don't bother subscribing to me. Go and have a watch of this one. Association Football, Harry Enfield, Mr. Chomley Warner. You can see Charlie Charles in that. But no, where's the thumbnail that I want you to watch? I want you to watch one of my videos. I think I've come off of it, haven't I? Let's go to my channel here, and we'll go to my latest videos. I've already shown it you once. What's it going on here? I don't want to go to channel customization. We'll come out of that. We'll go to, it was this one. I want to reorder my videos. See? That one there. Lying motherfucker. Go and have a watch of that. Assess the authenticity of the information. Assess the authenticity of the information being given by the British Broadcasting Corporation, by this presented expert, Ros Atkins, describing to you, to make sense of it, to the global watching audience, the reality of what went on here, and who are we going to put in front of you to explain it to you. That's what they do. And that's what they do about everything. And I'm just here to expose that, with the intention of there being some sort of consequence for those perpetrators. Because if we start getting consequence for the perpetrators of something like this, then maybe it starts waking people up to the notion that actually those that are doing it on the global scale for the things that do impact our lives, there should be a consequence for them as well. And maybe that's then going to impact our lives for the better. The division, the hatred, the inequalities, maybe they can change. And maybe they can change in our lifetimes when they're not being controlled by the billionaires that seek to impose all that upon us for their gain. Now, obviously the bots, those computers that the billionaires are putting the money in to control the narrative or project the conflict, they're going to contest that. They're going to come here to the channel and just try and discredit me and undermine me. Because that message is not what the message that the billionaires want to be heard. They don't want people to have a collective understanding. They don't want people to gather together, to uprise, to have a revolution of people who aren't going to tolerate the bullshit anymore. They don't want that. So what they'll do, they'll keep us fighting, they'll keep us conflicting, they'll keep us trying to attack each other rather than focus on them. So let's focus on what we should be focusing on, Charlie, and that's these lying motherfuckers, okay? On those. Thank you for your time.